This is your moment to maximize. Maximize moments with Milton Audio Experience.
Hey Maximizers, welcome to this edition. And joining me today, hey, I got a topic for you. Want to know what it is? If you build it, they will come. No, matter of fact, if you build it, it will come. Enjoy this one. I'm challenging you today to really think about it. If you build it, it will come. Misconceptions about purpose. And this really is about purpose because this my mission in life is to ignite, connect, and maximize your purpose and potential. But really think about this. Think about the misconceptions I'm going to share with you today about purpose. Is it one thing? Is it a multiple of things? Is it something that just comes from you out of the sky, drops down on your head like a little fairy dust, then bam, you have it? Or is there more to it? I'm going to share some things with you, and it's going to make you think today, and I hope you enjoy this. So I found this article from Harvard Business Review. I really do enjoy Harvard Business Review because of the things that they share and the things that they talk about and also publish in their articles. But this one's talking about really the misconceptions of purpose, and purpose is not something you find, it's something that you build. And so here's misconception number one. I'm going to share it with you, and this is going to really throw you off a little bit. These misconceptions, and I've got several to talk about. Matter of fact, I've got three misconceptions to talk to you about. Number one is this: purpose is only a thing you find. Purpose is the only thing that you find. You hear people talk about finding your purpose, and I've said this. I've been told this, that you find your purpose, and I think more and more about it, and I start to listen and hear people, younger generation, millennials, older, talking about I can't find. How do I find my purpose? And it's a quest or a search. Do you have to go on a 40-day fast, meaning you eat nothing but water or drink nothing but water, and you walk off into the desert like an example of what Jesus did, just 40 days in the desert, walking around, finding his purpose? No, he had to find himself, but he always had a purpose. He was always sent here for a purpose. Just like you and I are always sent here, we build things on purpose. We do things that allow us to command purpose in our life. And when we put purpose in the realm of just finding it, a lot of times we don't want to put any effort to look for it, or when we try to look for it, it's this ambiguous thing that kind of comes and goes. It evaporates just like the mist in the air, and then we're left wondering, looking up, staring into the stars, asking God why, instead of looking what's right in front of us. So the misconception number one: purpose is the only thing you find. And you see this on social media. You know that Mark Twain quote this, that the two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why you were born. And that's really when you say, talking about find out what's our why, what's our meaning in life. And I don't want to die without knowing why I was born. And a lot of us still try to figure out why we're born. It's a really a good articulated piece of material that really leaves us kind of wondering. And I like how this author talks about it's the Hollywood version of purpose, and something we use. And make no mistake, it can happen, at least in some form, that you do find out why. There's an epiphany, there's a dream you're given, an inspiration, but in that moment you have to build it. You have to go forth and use and utilizing the gifts and talents you have and building that purpose. But I think would rather, for the average 20-year-old or in college or 40-year-old in an unfulfilling job, searching for that silver bullet to give your life meaning is more likely to end in frustration than in fulfillment. And I think, for those that are achieving a professional purpose in life, most of us have to focus as much on making our work meaningful as in taking meaning from it. And so what are you doing? Put differently, purpose is a thing you build, not a thing that you find. So the thing that you're doing today, it could be at Burger King, it could be working for a healthcare company, it could be a doctor, it could be a lawyer, it could be an athlete. Are you finding purpose in what you're doing? some warehouse job, are you finding purpose and meaning in what you're doing? How are you taking the approach, the perspective of what you're doing? Not just, oh, I gotta go to work, but I get to go to work and I get to make an impact in people that are around me. And I find meaning in the people that I interact with and the service that I bring not only to the company that pays me and gives me opportunity to make a living, but also to the people that I surround myself with, my coworkers, my leaders, my bosses, those that maybe report to me. I find meaning and purpose in that. And that's something that I choose to build. And so, are you making your work forgettable or unforgettable? Are you making it something credible or are you making it regrettable? Think about those things when we're talking about the misconception that purpose is the only thing that we can find. And yeah, some jobs are more, glamorous and glorious than others, but even in the job that you're doing, find purpose and meaning in that. And that's what we're talking about. Because if you can find meaning and purpose in the little things that you do, it's your job, it's your family, it's your health, it's your cat, it's your dog, it's your children, whatever it is, your marriage, whatever you're doing, you finding meaning in that, that's where you are connected to the purpose in your life and you find out why you were here. Misconception number 2, purpose is a single thing. The second misconception he often hears is that purpose can be articulated as a single thing. Some people generally do seem to have an overwhelming purpose in their lives. Like Mother Teresa lived her life to serve the poor. Samuel Johnson poured every part of himself into his writing. Marie Curie devoted her energy to her work. And yet even these luminaries had other sources of purpose in their lives. Like Mother Teresa served the poor as part of what she believed was a higher calling. Curie, the Nobel Prize winning scientist who also devoted wife and mother. She wrote a biography of her husband, Pierre, and one of her daughters, Irene, won her own Nobel Prize. And Johnson, beyond his writing, was known to be a great humanitarian in his community, often caring personally for the poor. So most of us will have multiple sources of purpose in our lives. You can be the one that builds that business because that's your purpose, to build a business or start a charitable foundation or nonprofit. But then there's also your life that you have to consider, like the things you come home or you leave. You've got other things in your life that bringing you purpose and meaning. And I want to challenge you to really think about the multiple aspects of purpose, not just the singular, but the multiple aspects of purpose and meaning in our lives. So don't narrow it down just one singular thing, because you'll always be, I think, dissatisfied and always grasping for more. But think about the totality of purpose and the multifaceted angles of purpose. That it's like a crystal. It has, and when the light hits it in different ways, different angles, things will shine through. You'll see different colors, different aspects of the diamond. That's how purpose needs to be considered when it comes to not allowing this misconception that purpose is a single thing. Here's misconception number 3. Purpose is stable over time. Wondering how many of you listening to this have ever, if you're maybe over 40 years old, you find out that, hey, what I was excited about when I was in my 20s isn't the same. Or maybe in your 20s and you find out what you were excited about when you were 10 wasn't the same, or as a teenager is not the same, because things change, we grow, we mature, life experiences come at us and mold us and shape us. And so over time, things do change, and you have to break that misconception that your purpose is stable over time. Reevaluate it. Maybe what you were excited about 10 to 15 years ago is not the same as what you should be or are excited about. It's why maybe you're having a hard time or a challenge, following through with some things. If it's not bringing you passion, it's not bringing you passion. It's okay. Things change over time. Doesn't mean that you're a failure. Doesn't mean that you're, a loser or anything like that. It's just that you change, opportunities come and different changes. I know people that leave corporate jobs making tons of money to go start nonprofits and be a missionary. Or somebody that leaves a nice job or business and goes in the political arena. I look at my father, who who retired military, retired from the VA hospital, and now he's on the city council and works even harder. I mean, there's things that we do in life that change. Dreams change, purposes change, meanings in life change, and it's okay to go with the flow. So I think about this. I think about, what we do is that, there's an understanding of the evolution of our sources of purpose. It isn't flaky or demonstrative of a lack of commitment, but it's natural and good. It's not flaky and a lack of demonstration. It's natural and good, just as we all find meaning in multiple places. The sources of that meaning can and do change over time, but your essence, think about this, your essence has not changed. So don't think that, who you are, your anchor and who you are develops, your core, your essence of who you are the same. It's just that purposes change and things change and seasons come and then seasons go. And that's where we have to understand that just as well as, we find meaning in those multiple places, those sources of that meaning can and do change over time. And the writer says this, that his focus and sense of purpose at 20s was dramatically different in many ways than it is now. And so I'm going to leave you with this. How do you find your purpose? That's the wrong question to ask. We should be looking to endow everything we do with purpose. Everything that we do, everything that you touch, your hands touch, wherever your feet go, the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment that you go to bed, everything you do should be endowed with purpose to allow for the multiple sources of meaning that will naturally develop in our lives and be comfortable with those changing over time. If we unpack what we mean by purpose and meaning, if we can allow ourselves to better understand its presence and role in our lives, we will be able to maximize each and every moment that comes across our path. And that's where true joy lies, and that's where inspiration lies, and that's where motivation lies. So be grateful for what you are. If you truly if you're envisioning something, you have a passion for it today, build that. If you envision a dream for something you had a passion for 20 years ago and now you think about it today, that time has come and gone, that's okay. Because you're still alive, you still have a purpose to live. Understand that, Maximizers. I appreciate you for allowing me to share with you, because you listening to these podcasts allows me to live my purpose today, because this is what I'm passionate about, and sharing and giving you hopefully some inspiration, motivation, and direction in life to be your best version. I love you guys. God bless you today, and I'll definitely talk to you soon. Maximizers, I really appreciate your attention and your ear. And could you do me a favor? Could you like, comment, or subscribe to this podcast? Share it as well. I love for others to be impacted just as maybe you have been impacted. I like us to become a river instead of a reservoir, keeping it all bottled up. Let's share it with the world and share it with others. Who knows what good we can do when we share. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.